It's time for the podcast, which is all about the world of marketing on television through TV shopping networks, infomercials, and commercials. Are we on the air? I'm your host, Sean Wilsey, and for over 30 years I've hosted shows on cable shopping networks, generating hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, and now I want to be your guide into this world, explaining how it works, why it works, what doesn't work, and introduce you to the people who are making it the success that it is today.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with the benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
I guarantee every person listening, there might be an exception or two, but probably just about every person listening right now, first off, probably cringed hearing that. Some of you have hit the little button to skip ahead 15 seconds, which is why I'm babbling on right now, so they can get caught up. Because that obviously is the catchphrase associated with a commercial that ran heavily last year. I think it's out of rotation now. There probably is still some form of it running these days. But that commercial was the reason for the next series that we're going to start right now about the commercials and infomercials, because, again, that's our main connection. Anything direct response, by the way. I don't use the term direct response because not everybody understands what that is, but anything direct response related is really what this podcast is about. And this is a good example of direct response, meaning anything where you call an 800 number in order to interact with whatever's being advertised. This is, or these are, and I'm saying these because I am staring at my computer, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen the picture I posted of the 5 examples of the same commercial that are staring at me, and there's probably more. Honestly, in doing my due diligence for this show, after I realized, okay, there's 5 versions of this commercial, I can't take watching anymore. I've spent hours watching this commercial I was going to say for entertainment value, because that's what this is about, but honestly, there's a very serious approach to this. You know, just because a commercial is annoying doesn't mean that it's a success. It is a success. Anyway, getting too far off topic here. So last November, I posted on my Facebook, what are the commercials that annoy you? What are the commercials that just, make the hair on the back of your neck stand up? 146 responses. This was not one of the top vote getters. It was up there, but it was not the number one vote getter. We'll get to that in a future show. But this is the reason for doing this series to begin with. When a friend of mine pointed out how annoying this commercial was to him, and I had just seen it earlier that afternoon, a commercial like this, and let me just, which example do I play? I was about to say, let me play an example of it. Well, which one do I play? I'm just going to randomly pick Jimmy Walker number 1, and we'll just start playing a little bit of this, just so you know what commercial I'm talking about for those that don't know.
Hi, I'm Jimmy J.
Hi.
Walker. It's the Medicare open enrollment period. So before the deadline, you may be able to eliminate co-pays and get Part C benefits like transportation, meals, prescriptions, expanded dental coverage, all at no extra cost.
Wow.
Plus, you may be eligible to get money added to your Social Security check every single month, up to $1,700 for all of next year. Call
My zip code.
I called.
Okay, let's just pause right there, because I think now everybody knows where this is going. This is for the Medicare helpline. It says call the 2021 Medicare helpline. Now, again, full disclosure here, I don't know a ton about Medicare, even my own. When I was gainfully employed, I didn't even understand our health care program as it existed there, so let alone get me to something like Medicare that I'm luckily still a few years away from collecting. So I had to go to a friend of mine to really find out more about what this was all about. And even after talking to him, my head was spinning. But the bottom line is Medicare doesn't cover everything. These are supplemental plans that can help you cover some of those things that Medicare doesn't cover, in theory. And that's just kind of broadly what this does. Is it an annoying commercial? Yes, and that's why we're here. But as I started digging deeper into this, because I became more fascinated by this, okay, so what does this do when I call this number? What is happening? you really do. You have to analyze this, and I never thought I'd say this, analyze this commercial. Now, how did it begin? It began with this.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple.
Okay, Joe Namath, by the way, he didn't introduce himself. Mistake number one. But he was replaced by Jimmy Walker fairly early on into this campaign. And gosh, Joe Namath, reaching the right audience. Because again, who are we talking to? We're talking to senior citizens with this commercial. Talking to senior citizens who are at home during the day, which is when this commercial runs. Joe Namath, good choice. Former football player, would be of the name recognition that the company would want to reach their target customer. Senior citizens would remember Joe Namath, Broadway Joe, and would be interested in what he has to say.
Call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up.
He's not a good pitch man, though. It seems forced. His delivery seems forced. It's not that Jimmy Walker's a ton better, but it's just not there.
Your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every.
That adds money back. Pause. To your Social Security. It's not a good read. It's just from a plain commercial standpoint, this is not well done. It is not well produced. So they thought, let's replace him with Jimmy Walker. I wish you could see me. I'm rubbing my head. I'm literally leaning against my desk, rubbing my head right now. Because here's where the train wreck. Let me get rid of the Joe Namath window here. Here's where it gets bad. Gets worse. Honest to God, where do I even begin? First off, the marketers behind this did one thing very right, and I know you've seen the commercial. You have Jimmy, in parentheses, J.J. Walker, his name up on the screen. He's standing there off to the side, and behind him, remember the commercial? Behind him is a bookshelf with a big picture of him from when he played JJ on the TV series Good Times, which for those that don't know was a 1970s situation comedy. Got very deep and dark in some places. Remember the Janet Jackson episode where her mother was abusing her with a hot iron? I mean, it got really dark in some points, but popular series. Ran for probably most of the decade, and his big character, JJ, had a catchphrase, Dynamite. Every time he said that, the audience applauded and went crazy. So they have a picture of him back from those times. The word Good Times, no trademark infringement. It looks like it's a metal, like a street sign that just happens to say Good Times. There is a little, looks like a magazine with the word Dynamite. So in the background, all the things that are going to make someone of the age that's interested in Medicare coverage interested. And so it begins now anew.
Hi, Jimmy J.
Hi.
Walker here. If you're on Medicare, listen to this. It's the Medicare annual enrollment period, and there's a deadline to update your coverage and benefits.
Pausing for the first time, because now's where the real analyzing of this starts to begin. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's on all the time. But from a marketing standpoint, as brilliant as that background was, it has served a second purpose that I guarantee you've never noticed. As you're looking at Jimmy Walker, as there's words flashing on the screen, for all of next year, deadline for coverage, you're looking at the pictures in the background, you never notice the tiny disclaimers that are running through almost this entire thing. Next time the commercial runs, here's where you look. Just above, you'll see the phone number at the bottom of the screen. To the left of that will be call the Medicare helpline logo. Right above that, in the tiniest print imaginable, are a lot of disclaimers for this whole thing. First one that comes up is paid endorsement. Extra benefits require enrollment in a Medicare Advantage plan. So first thing they're saying is Jimmy Walker is getting paid. He's not someone that is actually participating in this. And remember that when we get to cut 5 of this commercial. Don't worry, I won't make you listen to all of them. So you've already started with a disclaimer saying paid endorsement, which, most of this they have to do. The next disclaimer that comes up, which we've already had come up as we're playing it, because the 5-second mark, it says the 2021 Medicare Helpline is not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program. Extra benefits require enrollment in a Medicare Advantage plan. No one notices these. They're covering their butts. The disclaimers are there, but no one is noticing them. Again, from a marketing standpoint, what they've done, used red, white, and blue. This looks like some sort of a government thing. It looks authentic. It's like, wow, I'm going to talk to someone who's really going to help me cut my Medicare rates. I'm going to get more money in my Social Security check, and life's just going to be grand.
All of next year. I didn't want to miss out, so I called the 1-800 number.
Yeah, did you? Paid endorsement, it said earlier. Now, maybe he did. They might have said, okay, before you record this, we need you to call the 800 number just so you can see what it's like. And so he might have done that, but that would have been the extent of it.
To see what Part C benefits I could get. An actual person answered and looked up my zip code, and boom! I was offered extra benefits like dental care with extractions, fillings.
Okay, time for some more disclaimers that no one's reading. Are you ready for these? So he's talking about what he was offered, what he's getting through this chat with this person here. So, well, let's see. The fine print now says plans and benefits vary in premiums, copays, and coinsurance may apply. Plans that have no premiums, no copays, no deductibles may require qualifying for low-income subsidies or S&P plans. Benefits may differ from those offered under your current plan. Extra benefits require enrollment in Medicare Advantage plan. That's a lot of disclaimer for about 15 seconds. I think that one was timed out to be on the air. So it's not on the air very long. So you've got a lot of reading that you need to do. We're only 26 seconds into the commercial, so there's still, there's a long ways to go here. But these are the kind of disclaimers that fly by so quickly that no one notices them. Let's get to the good part. Here's what everyone is listening for.
Zip code.
I called and he looked up my zip code and said I could eliminate co-pays and get expanded dental care, prescriptions, transportation, and meals covered at no extra cost.
I couldn't believe my zip code has a benefit that adds money to my Social Security check. They help me so much.
It's simple.
Now, disclaimers there as well. Might not have noticed them. And to be fair, it does say actual participant, so the people that you hear saying that they called to check their zip code, they are actual people or actual callers, it says, paid endorsement. So yes, they're being paid to endorse this. And one of the things you'll learn is you put enough money in front of someone and they'll say or phrase whatever you put in front of them. I guarantee these were not their words. They were written for them. They had to approve them, obviously. But, they're painting a very rosy picture of all of this. And so it's, I don't want to say it's not all what it seems to be, but they're definitely painting a very rosy picture of things. What? They got a paycheck coming. So, they want to make people happy. And so, of course, that's what they're doing. One of the things to note, again, like I said, there's 5 versions of this. And I remember someone asking once about how all of these commercials have a different phone number. This is one of the foundations of what direct response, or what is technically called per inquiry advertising, how they judge the success of a program. Every time you see this commercial, let's say you see it once on Antenna TV and then you see it again on Retro TV, 2 different over-the-air networks that are commonplace for seeing commercials like this, you're going to see a different phone number. That way they can track where you're seeing it from. So if I'm watching it during an afternoon on Antenna TV, I'm calling this specific phone number. If I saw it at night on Retro TV, a different network, I'm calling a different phone number. So they can track and they can see their success rate. That's the reason for the different phone numbers. Someone got very skeptical about that. No reason necessarily to be skeptical. It's how the marketers, it's how the advertising agencies track the success. And so if it turns out that, wow, we're getting no calls on this phone number, what's this phone number attached to? Okay, this phone number is attached to this network. We're not going to bother running it on this network anymore. Remember, it doesn't cost these advertisers of per inquiry advertising, direct response advertising, anything until you pick up the phone and you call. Which, and I'm jumping ahead because I never did finish the complete series about commercials in general. One of the things to know is anytime you see a commercial like this is basically filler. This is there because they could not sell that airtime to Folgers or Campbell's Soup or Ford cars. They would rather have an advertiser who's going to pay for that entire time frame on a regular basis than someone who's only going to pay you when you call to take advantage of the service. And that's how ads like this work. Anytime there's an 800 number. This is why I had to laugh when, and again, nothing political, believe me, when the My Pillow guy pulled his commercials from Fox News. I guarantee the people at Fox News said, fine, because it's the kind of advertising where they only get paid when someone calls to buy a pillow. And the sales for My Pillow have been declining for years now. So they've not been making money off of running that commercial because QVC dumped him way before his whole controversy started because his sales were down. People weren't. A pillow is something, especially if you're giving a 10-year warranty, that you buy once and then, okay, 10 years from now, I'll buy another pillow. It is not a consumable. A consumable, remember, in a general sense, is anything that's used up. A pillow is a consumable, I guess you could say, in a general sense, that 10 years from now it's going to be used up, but people aren't having to replace their pillows all the time. And he was a single product business. He's gotten into other things now. But anyway, getting off topic. So the only way these commercials run for Medicare Helpline or anything like that is when it's on a show that can't sell the advertising to a real advertiser. Jumping ahead now to version 5. I wonder how many there are out there. These are all different, by the way. Let me just to show you. Okay, this is going to get really annoying. I'm going to warn you right now. I'm going to play the first few seconds of each one of these. Let me cue this up. Let's see if this works.
Hi, I'm Jimmy J.J. Walker. It's the Medicare open enrollment
Hi,
period.
Jimmy J.J.
So
Walker
before
here.
the deadline,
If you're on
you may be able
Medicare,
to
hi, I'm
listen
Jimmy
to
J.J.
this.
Walker.
It's the
And if
Medicare
you're on
annual
Medicare,
enrollment
listen
period.
to
And
this. I call it
it's
me again. Listen to this.
Okay, that got very annoying. It amused me, though. But I'm going to replay the intro to the last one because it's this is the one they brought him back because the set's different. They said, okay, Jimmy Walker, we need you to do this again. He's probably like, we did this a half dozen times already. No, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it again. We're changing things up a little bit. The set's different. You have dark wood behind you this time now. Is he wearing a different shirt? He's wearing a different shirt. So no, it's gonna be very different. We've rearranged the pictures. I guess a couple of pictures are the same, but otherwise no. We've rearranged them though. So very different commercial. Listen to his introducing himself.
Hi, it's me again. Listen to...
That is one take. He's laughing at the start. It's me again. Even he's recognizing, okay, this is getting annoying. People are sick of seeing me, so I'm just going to say, it's me again.
This Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check every month may now be
He's obviously been watching Shark Tank because he's doing the whole Mr. Wonderful money. He always says it like that. I like money.
Available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3,
you know what? I gotta be fair. Is it annoying? Absolutely, it's annoying. It runs all the time. As direct response commercials go, though, it's really not bad. If I were the creative genius behind this, I don't know if I would change that much. I have the actor who's going to appeal to the age group I'm looking after. I have the pitch. Once I got rid of Joe Namath, because he's into it. He's not bad as a pitch man. He's obviously on script. He's delivering it well. I've got my catchphrase, check my zip code, so that's going to stick. It really is a pretty decent commercial. I can't make fun of it that badly. Annoying as hell, you bet it is, but they really did a pretty good job with it. Now, all of that said, I do, again, want to get very serious. This is something where if you know anyone who might be tempted to call that 800 number, have them get in touch with an insurance agent in their hometown, a reputable insurance agent. When you call that number, you're talking to people who are, in many cases, hired seasonally for the call center. Now, they might have some insurance background that there's no way of knowing for sure. So they might have some knowledge of insurance because they're here to sell insurance plans that this company is connected with. But you need an independent broker who will look around for the best plans. So if you know someone who might be tempted to fall for something like this, just, find a good hometown insurance agent who can hopefully lead them down the correct path. But absolutely annoying. Oh, you bet it is. And next time around, we'll start going through some more of the commercials that everyone felt were the most annoying. Now, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss a show. Plus, you can listen to the archive of past shows. I hope you'll check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Sean Wilsey and on Instagram at SWilsey. Thank you for downloading this edition of our We On The Air. This has been a King Bobby production.
Yes, I know, Travis. That's why we give such bargains.